Hey, this is Mad Movie Mark of the Mad Movie Mark Movie Review. Thank you for joining me as I review the 2018 South Korean dramatic thriller The Spy Gone North. The Spy Gone North has a 100% fresh rating from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an 85% fresh rating from the audience. I'm currently reviewing every movie that has a 100% fresh rating from the critics in chronological order, and after I've reviewed them all, I will rank them from worst to best. This movie stars Hwang Jung-Min as Black Venus and Lee Sung-min as Ri Myung-woo. This is a true story about a South Korean spy named Black Venus who infiltrates the North Korean country in order to obtain intelligence on the country's nuclear weapon plan. Now, this is in the 1990s, and he then shortly learns that his country is manipulating political elections and is eventually forced to become a double agent. Now, in the beginning of the movie, Black Venus has some military standing. They ask him to infiltrate North Korea, so he has to shed his military standing. He has to kind of show that he is a businessman. So he borrows a bunch of money. He gambles it all away to show that, he hit rock bottom at one point, and now he's ready to kind of rebuild his life. They end up getting a nuclear weapon professor from North Korea to divulge that North Korea is building nuclear weapons. So this creates kind of a new sense of urgency. They did not know for 100% that North Korea was building nuclear weapons. They had just assumed that it was happening, but now they know for sure that is happening. So Black Venus's mission is to contact Ri Myung-woo, who is head of foreign affairs of North Korea. Sorry. This could open the door for obtaining a meeting with Kim Jong-il, who he will eventually have to go to in order to get these business dealings that he's trying to get done with North Korea. Essentially, he's trying to build up a rapport with North Korea. He's trying to bring the South and the North together so that they will trust him and they will allow him to visit their nuclear sites. Of course, unbeknownst to them, he's going to create this guise so that he can pretend like he's doing business dealings, but in truth, he's actually looking at these sites for nuclear bombs. So North Korea, eventually in the movie, they have to raise $250,000 because a prominent military leader's son, I believe, is arrested, and this is all set up by Black Venus so that North Korea will need the money, and they know that South Korea wants to do this business deal, so that it kind of forces their hand to do this business deal so that they can get the money right away and get this guy's son out of prison. Now, Ri and Black Venus meet, and they decide on the terms of doing these business deals together. But Ri says that he wants military secrets provided from South Korea as part of this exchange so that they can kind of trust him and know that he is on the up and up. So he ends up they know this is going to happen. They know that North Korea is going to ask for this. So they end up giving South Korea this like declassified information that really anyone could obtain, just so that they're not giving them like too crazy of a military secrets. So eventually these business deals are going down. They're making strides, they're making waves, and Black Venus says he wants to do an advertisement deal with North Korea, and this advertisement deal would bring in a lot of revenue. It would bring in a lot of tourists to North Korea, and he thinks that this is kind of a win-win for everyone. Now, shooting these advertisements is the perfect way for him to be able to go to different sites and take pictures of these different nuclear sites, and he could just say he was trying to visit places where these advertisements could be done. Now, Ri says that this is not something that he can approve. It's not something that he can okay. It's kind of above his pay grade. It's above his rank. He has to go through Kim Jong-il personally in order to make this happen. Now, they end up getting a meeting with Kim Jong-il, and he tells Black Venus not to like look at him in the eye, to look at him just above the button, don't interrupt him while he's talking, and like pretty much always agree with what he says. Kim Jong-il, just like any dictator, is just surrounded by a bunch of yes men who tell him what he wants to hear, and they get to live as a reward. They don't get punished, they don't get beaten, they don't get killed. They get to live because they tell him what a great man he is, how right he is about everything, and how he's doing a great job for their country, even if they don't believe it. So Kim Jong-il ends up agreeing that this advertisement deal is a good idea, and he ends up doing it. Later on in the movie, there's a point in the movie which I really, really enjoyed, where Black Venus and Rhee are talking to Kim Jong-il, and I think he wants to not do this advertisement business anymore, or there's some kind of conflict where he decides that this isn't going to be a good idea. He's being told by his staff and his people that this isn't something that he should do, and of course, Black Venus does exactly what he's told not to do, and he contradicts Kim Jong-il, and he says, I think your people are wrong. I think that you are wrong for doing this. And this, of course, like, just confuses Rhee, and I'm sure like all kinds of things are running through his head as to why this moron is going against Kim Jong-il, who could literally have him killed anytime he wants. But this intrigues Kim Jong-il because no one ever challenges him. He says, well, like, what's your opinion? Please lay out your opinion to me and why you think this is something that we should go through. And Black Venus does an incredible job. Rhee does an incredible job as to explaining exactly what needs to be done and why it needs to be done, and why the people around him are lying to him and the people around him are yes men. And Kim Jong-il agrees. And it's an incredible scene. It is very tense. It is very dramatic, on the edge of your seat. Is this going to work? What's going to happen? And there's a lot of this in the movie. Black Venus is an incredible salesman. He's an incredible, he plays cat and mouse games with 2 or 3 different characters in this movie. He's always one step ahead of everyone. He always knows exactly how to talk to people to get what he wants. He knows that he doesn't have to necessarily coddle people. He doesn't have to tell them what they want to hear. He can just like walk out of a room and say like, okay, never mind, F you, I don't want to do this anymore. And he has so much power that he commands because he knows how to talk to people and he knows how to make things happen. And he really is good at his job and he really knows what he's doing. And he is just an amazing person to watch in this movie. His character is just mesmerizing. It is incredible how he's able to do these deals, how he's able to talk to these people who are in high power, who can have him killed anytime they want, the way he talks to them, because he knows that this is how you're going to get things done, because people don't talk to Kim Jong-il like this. So it's going to intrigue him. It's going to make him wonder, why is this person talking like this to me? This isn't how it's done. It's absolutely amazing. He does a fantastic job. Rhee also does an amazing job in this movie. He has some of the best acting scenes in this movie, I think, and just phenomenal. So, like I said, at the end of the movie, I don't want to go too much into it, honestly, because it confused me a little. But at the end of the movie, Black Venus ends up having to become a double agent. And I'm not going to ruin the ending or spoil how it ends. But I thought it was a really good movie, incredibly well acted. Now, this movie is a dramatic thriller. I would say the thrill is more in the cat and mouse, the chase, the trying to, Black Venus trying to dance his way around different situations, trying to get the upper hand on people without being killed. That's like where the thrill comes in. There's no like real big action scenes. There's no like car chases. There's no Terminators. There's nothing. There's no Holly Gennaros or Nakatomi Plazas or anything. It's just really well acted. There's a lot of urgency in this movie. It's very tense. It's on the edge of your seat type of movie. The acting is fantastic all the way through. The music is fantastic. Amazing direction. Amazing cinematography. My only gripe about this movie, and this is really a problem that is with me and not a problem with the movie itself, is that there's a lot of moving parts in this movie. At some points, it does become a little confusing. I do have a hard time figuring out like who is who. If it's not Ree and it's not Black Venus on screen, I have a hard time of keeping track who is who, what are people's motives. There's so many moving parts and so many different things going on in this movie that I have a hard time keeping track of it. I got lost a couple times while watching it, but that's just me. I need a simple movie. Let's just be honest. I have the same problem with I had the same problem with the Maltese Falcon. I've watched it like 5 or 6 times, and I just have a hard time following that movie. It's just not my kind of movie, I guess. And I did have a hard time following this movie at times. But like I said, that's more of a me problem than it is a movie problem, I would say, because a lot of people could watch this movie and do a very good job at following it, do a very good job at understanding what's going on. Also, I've said this before, I rarely watch a movie in one sitting because of my 15-month-old daughter. I watch them in maybe half an hour increments when I can, when I'm not like watching her and playing with her and feeding her and everything. It's very hard for me to watch a movie all the way through. So cutting up movies, bits and pieces here and there, sometimes I get lost with that as well. But I thought this was a very well done movie, and I give it an 8.5 out of 10. No, sorry. This movie is an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. My mistake. Hope you join me next time when I review the animated movie Penguin Highway. Thank you. Have a great day.